Hi, thank you very much for joining us today for the webinar on how to use cloud accounting to create real-time reports and dashboards. My name is Rayhan Aleem. I am the founder and managing partner of an accounting firm called Optical Partners. We have offices in Dubai and London, and we are Xero Platinum Partners. The topics we're going to cover today is I'll talk about Xero. Obviously, Xero is an cloud accounting software. And the things I talk about doesn't just mean it's just Xero. It could be other cloud accounting softwares as well. And I will mention some of the things that makes your processes in terms of accounting a lot quicker to allow you to achieve real-time accounting. And then Barrett will go more into the PowerBI and how you can integrate not just Xero or a cloud accounting software, but other softwares as well, so you can have your own dashboard. One of the things that is quite useful for some of my clients is the fact that you can, if you've got multiple Xero licenses, you can see a holistic profit and loss and balance sheet, and Barrett will go into that later on in this session. I will start off with HubDoc. So HubDoc is when you're entering invoices and receipts, one of the things that people do is they manually enter it into the system, and they don't keep, PDF copies or receipts. So one of the things that we do is we use a software called HubDoc. HubDoc is also owned by Xero, but it can also be used by other accounting softwares as well. So what it does is you will have a mobile app, or you have your own dedicated email address. And so what you're able to do is you're able to take pictures of your receipts and invoices. And if you're receiving invoices via email, you can forward it on to HubDoc, which will then organize the receipts based on names. It also integrates with Google Drive. So if you, for example, wanted to save some of your documents in Google Drive as well, it will do that for you automatically. So in this example, we have a GoDaddy receipt. So as I mentioned, you'll have your mobile app, or you'll have your designated email address. You forward your receipts, your invoices to that email address, or you take pictures on your phone, and then it will come to HubDoc. What HubDoc does now is it uses optical character recognition to then take some of the information from the invoice to be then pre-populated. So here you can see the supplier GoDaddy has been extracted, the invoice number has been extracted, and the date. And then you can see the currency, the amount, and the tax rate. And then you have destinations. Now, destination doesn't have to be Xero. It could be the other accounting softwares that are compatible with HubDoc, and the others are Sage and QuickBooks as well. So what it does here is you would then enter the information that you want to then this document to then be extracted into Xero. Now, one of the things you want to just keep in mind is as soon as you've done this one type of invoice once, HubDoc uses machine learning to then remember how you would have coded it the previous times, and then it will automatically pre-populate it. So I'm going to do a working example now. So I'm going to show you how quickly this then goes into Xero. So I'm going to give it a due date. So let's put today's date, for example. I'm then going to put the status as authorized. The contact is going to be GoDaddy. And remember, once you've done this for the first time, it will then remember this the second time. Website subscription. And then I'm going to select publish. As soon as I select publish, you can see here the two. So now it's gone into Xero. So if I go into Xero now of this dummy account, if I select refresh, here you can see it's come straight away, instantaneously. So if I click onto that bill, you can see here that it's taken the description that I've just entered, website subscription. It's got the from, it's got the date, the due date, today's date. If you remember, we wrote that down there. It's got the tax rate, and then it's got the amount. And here you can also see the file as well. So So the good thing about this is when you're reviewing accounts and when you're providing real-time reports to management or to the business owner, if they want to drill down, they can actually go down to the actual receipt. So that's the thing that is quite good with that. Don't forget, we'll be taking questions at the end, so just feel free to jot them down and put them in the message, and then we'll take them once Barrett has finished his talk. Few more features I just want to highlight to you in terms of Xero. So obviously, when it comes to invoicing, it's very, very easy. So for example, if you wanted to create a new invoice, you can simply enter the information here. So let's say I'm invoicing myself. You can enter a date, a due date, a reference, a description, quantity, unit price, and you can see here that it's already pre-populated the sales account because it's an invoice. Once I select approve, what I then can do is I can email it straight away to my customer. I can convert it to PDF, and I can also attach documents as you saw previously. Another feature I want to also highlight is producing statement of accounts is quite easy. If you select send statement, and I choose, let's say, Hamilton Smith, I can either email it from Xero directly, or I can download a PDF. I can view it here, and then I can send it directly to my client. This template can be edited just for your information. And then the last thing I wanted to show you about invoicing was the other feature that you can do is you can send invoice reminders. So for example, obviously in this region, certain industries find it difficult to get paid. There's certain things you should follow in terms of making sure you get paid on time. One of the things that Xero can do that can save you a lot of time is it can send email reminders to your customers. So for example, if you've got an invoice that's overdue by 7 days, it will send this automated email to your customers just to remind them that a payment is due. And you can also set it so you can remind them when it's due in 7 days. So for example, if you've got an invoice that's due after 30 days, after say 21 days after the date of the invoice, it will send them a reminder to say, look, by the way, your invoice is due for payment within a certain amount of time. So that will save you a lot of time from that point of view. I also want to touch upon bank reconciliation. So obviously the theme of this webinar is how to get real-time reporting. Now, when it comes to accounts, the reason why many accountants have to report at the end of the month is because there's a number of processes that they need to do before they can present a P&L and balance sheet to the management and to the business owners. Now, one of those processes is your bank reconciliation. If your bank isn't reconciled, your financial statements are not yet correct. So one of the things, when Xero first came out a few years ago, one of the things that they did was they looked at their bank reconciliation process and looked at ways to make it easier and better and quicker. In many regions, bank statements automatically go into Xero. In the UAE at the moment, it's only RAK Bank that has that feature, and I believe we may have MSMBD later on down the line. But what you can see here is this is your bank statement, and this is effectively your journals. Now, as soon as you've uploaded your bank statements, if there are transactions that are matching the statement, then it will automatically suggest a transaction. So for example, in this situation, you've got Ridgeway University that has invoice number 25 here as a payment reference. Now the amount is 618,750, and here we've got an invoice for 618,750, which is invoice number 025. If I bring some context into this webinar, I'll show you where that invoice is. So if we go to search for 25, for example, we can see here Ridgeway University is awaiting payment. So this is an invoice that was issued on the 5th of Jan, and here you can see it's awaiting payment. Now I'm also going to open up the accounts receivable report as well. So on our accounts receivable, and the reason why I'm doing this is so I can show you how once you reconcile a transaction in the bank, the reports are automatically updated. So I'm just waiting for it to load. So on this accounts receivable summary, we can see that on the accounts receivable, Ridgeway University 618750 is outstanding. Now if we go back to the bank, if I reconcile this amount, and then if I refresh this report, this 618750 should then be cleared because it's been reconciled with a payment. Drum roll. Oops, something went wrong. Let's just refresh it again. So there you go. It's gone. That 618750 has gone. So as soon as you post a transaction in Xero, the reports are automatically updated. I'm just now going to quickly touch upon a few other reports that we have within Xero, and then I'll then pass over to Barrett, because I know we're overrunning now. So there's a number of reports available in Xero. One of the things I wanted to emphasize is the fact that every report in Xero you can download as a PDF and as Excel as well. So here you can export as PDF and in Excel and as Google Sheets. There is some adjustments you can do within the format, but the other key thing you can do is you can run the report whenever you want. So let's say you wanted to run a report for this financial year. The information is up to date as and when you've entered the data. Now, you can then drill down. So let's say, for example, I wanted to know what is my breakdown of advertising. I can click this button, and then it will show me the transactions of the advertising account. I can then drill down again. So this is a payable invoice, and then I can see the actual invoice here. And then if, for example, I attach the document, I can see the document there as well. So within cloud accounting, within cloud accounting packages, you have the ability to enter information and have the reports on those information instantaneously. And obviously now with the help of softwares like HubDoc, you can attach the actual documents, and then once you're doing a drill down, you can see the actual documents without having to refer to an email or any other type of information saved in another drive. That's all for me for Xero. I want to leave enough time for Q&A. So once Barrett has completed his presentation, we'll go to Q&A, and if you have any other questions, we'll answer them as well. So thank you very much from me. I will now pass over to Barrett, who will now talk more about BI and how we can get the dashboards and reporting.